Well, once again, welcome to Spinnerack, and this is our Game of Thrones edition. Today we're going to be talking about Jon Snow. This is the rulers, the special group of rulers we're going to be talking about. And today in this part, we're going to be talking about Jon Snow, the ruler of the North, the King of the North. And with me I have Cal. As always, you see him on our show of Spinnerack.
They know who I am.
Gotta introduce you to Cal, Now, Cal, if you were in Game of Thrones, who would you be?
Jon Snow.
Well, that's exactly what I thought. And being that Jon Snow is my least favorite character, you would probably end up dying. Okay?
He's not dead. He's not dead yet. He's the only person to come back from the dead. So how do you like that? Huh?
Beric Dondarrion.
How do you like those apples?
Well, Beric Dondarrion has also died, and he's come back. And,
who? Who's come back?
Beric Dondarrion.
Hey, nobody knows who that is. Everybody knows who Jon Snow is. So you know nothing. Okay?
All right, so listen. Let's talk a little about Jon, what happened to him last season, okay?
Yeah, he got punked.
So, yeah, he got punked pretty bad. I mean, Jon, as we can, was resurrected. It was the worst kept secret.
Not that.
Everybody knew he was coming back, right?
Not that. He got punked because they wanted to make Sansa look better.
Well, he got
him coming back from the dead. That was okay. Okay, I didn't have too much of a big deal with that. They didn't have to drag it out over 3 episodes. Especially for a show that only has 10 episodes. But okay. But the whole thing with Sansa just totally undercut everything that they've been building up to with him. Oh, well.
Yeah, but you know what? I think it showed development on Sansa's part.
Whatever.
Look, Jon Snow is a freaking hothead. He didn't plan. He just did. Let's move all the way to the battle of the bastards.
You are kidding me. You are kidding me.
Here you have the
Sansa comes over here, gave him all that nonsense about you don't have a plan.
And he didn't have a plan.
The Knights in the Vale? No. She saved that so she could magically pull it out of her red-headed butt and then come over here and be the heroine. Why? Because she's the girl and all these other... She has this following of people who feel sorry for her and want to see her empowered while making Jon look like a fool. This guy was with the Notch. He was doing a good job. He went across enemy lines, came back alive, came back from the dead, and somehow he gets caught in that trap? Come on.
All right, so clearly you don't see the Jon Snow that I see. This is the guy who continually chooses the wrong decision. Not the best decision. He does the right thing, but because he chooses the right thing, he ends up causing nothing but havoc.
That makes no sense.
Of course it does. Look,
no, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. Look at what happened. He wanted to help the wildlings, and he ends up leaving to help the wildlings at Hardhome. He saves a bunch of them, but in the end, when most of them die and become whites, they're going to come after him. He comes back to the
you're cherry picking over the whole scenes of what happened.
So what happened?
What Jon did was the right thing because it's established an alliance, and that's going to be helpful later on, and you know it. How many people are going to die to become? How many people are going to die to become whites anyway? If there's nobody to fight them, that's an innocuous point. To be honest, it's a disingenuous point. You're just tearing the character down because you don't like him.
Look, what I'm trying to say is that if you look at the character, he's been very flawed. And when he came back...
He's flawed? Compared to who? Compared to what character on the show?
He hasn't built enough alliances. So when he ended up dying, it was not a surprise.
How does he build alliances? He got sent to the wall. What alliances are there to build there? The fact that he built an alliance says something about his character. You're off the rails, man. You're off the rails. Your horns are showing. You just don't like his character. Disingenuous. Nothing you say has any validity.
Hey, you think he walks on water, and he doesn't. He does not.
No. So look, it's not about walking on water. He has a grounded, three-dimensional character. Yes, he makes mistakes, but Jon also gets it. He also gets it right, and he's the only character there who has any sort of nobility whatsoever. Maybe with the exception of Daenerys. Everybody else, they're just vicious slugs.
But listen, in the world of this world, you have to be a slug to make it to the top.
Obviously not, because Jon is still there.
Well, Jon has died. How many times do you have to die to prove that he's totally wrong? So listen, continuing on. Look,
what sense did that make? Now you're just taking shots.
Like I said, because of the battle of the
all
bastards,
of your evil people, all your people who play the game according to what you say is the right way, they're dead. They're all dead. They all died one by one.
Littlefinger's still alive. Cersei's still alive.
Yeah.
they're still
She's
alive. The Queen of Thorns is still alive.
She's fated to die. Every part of that prophecy has come to pass except for the last portion. So I know you're not going to use her as an example. Come on.
Well, let me tell you this. I don't believe Jon Snow will survive. Okay? So if you want to use that logic, I think he's also fated to die. He's the tragic hero who will die.
He's not a tragic hero. You gotta go back. You have to go back to university. Tragic heroes are defined differently and have different characteristics. Jon Snow does not meet that definition.
Okay.
Your tragic hero. Okay, your tragic hero.
If
oh
he
no.
doesn't meet that
No, I can't use him. He's just tragic, but he's not a hero.
Look, he's going to. Your hero will die. I don't think Jon Snow.
He already died. He came back.
He's going to die again.
That's the problem. That's the problem you have with him. Okay, you want him dead. He's not going to be dead because he's a good character. He's a good character, and he helps to reinforce that your point of view that you have to come, lie, cheat, and steal in order to get what you want in this world is disputed and refuted by a character of such intestinal fortitude and honorable disposition as Jon Snow. That's why you don't like him.
Jon Snow is not realistic. The author made the book to be what would be a realistic kind of world.
With dragons.
In this world,
a realistic world with dragons.
Well, this is his world. And
with dark magic and people coming back to life. This is a realistic world.
This is supposed to be...
With magic fire that just happens to be underneath the building when Cersei needs it. This is all realistic. Come on.
Fantasy. In his fantasy realism world, he's trying to get how characters are in the real world. And the reality is, Jon Snow wouldn't make it to the top.
This is the same guy who can't finish his story because he's too busy counting his money, stacking paper from the floor to the ceiling.
So we digress. Let's get to the next question.
Right.
All right. So where is he now? He's now ruling the North, or supposedly ruling the North. I think he's really, in reality, a co-ruler with Sansa.
How can she be a co-ruler?
Won't be able to make a decision. Because he won't be able to make a damn decision on his own. Let's get it straight.
He made plenty of decisions on his... Look, okay, we're not going to get anywhere if you keep taking shots at Jon. So, you quit taking the shots, I'll keep feeling them back to you. Let's just stick to the facts.
You can be an apologist for Jon. All right, the facts is, Jon currently is ruling the North, okay? Right? Are we in agreement with that?
Keep going.
Okay. Jon Snow has a dilemma. He has to unite the Lords of the North, and he has to be wary of the threat of the walkers coming from the north, right? The far north. There. In essence, he also needs help from the south. He needs the south to also understand how important this is, because if not, everybody will die. Okay? Mm-hmm. Are you with me on this?
Hey, these are all established facts. I'm waiting for you to do what you normally do.
The question is whether he's the man to do the job. And here's where we come into, once again, him being the hero who probably who does not have the leadership ability to handle this type of a job. As I would say, if this was a Star Trek episode, he would not be the Captain Picard, the leader, the great leader. He would be I wouldn't say a red shirt, but he would be the Worf character or the Picard, not the Picard character. Someone that you would send out to do the job, and then you'll have someone else who is the general actually running the show. And that's where Sansa comes in on my end. Okay? And since we're in agreement on that part, we will move on.
Move on to what? The segment's about Jon Snow.
I know.
No, I just want to hear. I just want to hear how much more full of it you can be at this point. You don't like the character, and so you're just assailing the character. No. You're just totally disingenuous. Totally.
The character. All I'm saying, I just don't think that he will.
America,
he's not.
I know you can hear Big Business right now talking his nonsense. Don't listen to him. He doesn't like the character. He doesn't like characters that are pure of heart and noble. That's why he hates Superman and he loves Batman. He thinks you have to lie, cheat, and steal. No, you don't have to lie, cheat, and steal. You can make the right decisions. It's the harder road, but you can still win. He doesn't believe that, so he's just going to come over here and sling as much mud as he can at Jon, but it won't stick.
All right, so I see how you stand with Jon. So look, going back to the problem, I think, is that if you look at Jon, is that, we already know what his parentage is. His parentage is Lyanna Stark and Rhaegar Targaryen. Theoretically, he could be the king of all the Seven Kingdoms.
He is the king.
No, he's the king of the North. I'm saying he could be also the king of all Seven Kingdoms.
And if you knew like I knew, you'd be saying the same thing as well. You got to read more.
I read it. If he if they can prove that his mother and father actually wed, then he has a far better claim to the whole seven kingdoms in his life. Now, but here's the rub. The problem is that, I don't get the feeling from Jon that he could do that. I think Jon is such a good character that he's the hero who has to fall all in the end. He's 100% Ned Stark. Ned Stark is his uncle or his foster father, who really is his father, because he basically died trying to do the right thing all the way across. There's many times around the world that Ned could have stopped and said, "Hey, let me try another way. Let me try to build alliances." But no, Ned always did the right thing. Doing the right thing doesn't mean doing the smart thing, and he ended up dying, losing his head.
What kind of false equivalency are you talking about? Does doing the wrong thing mean doing the smart thing? Is that what you're saying? Doing the wrong thing is a smart thing?
Saying, sometimes you have to. It's when you're dealing in politics. You have to.
Let me help you out, because you're not talking about politics here. Okay, politics is the nonsense we deal with. No, these aren't politics.
This is politics. That's exactly what got him killed.
Politics didn't get him killed. Okay, he was what happened? Somebody who had a thirst for power, okay, came and made a move, and he was not able to get out of it. Politics, okay, would have saw him like exiled or something of that nature, not necessarily beheaded. That's number one. Number two, the false equivalency you keep promoting, and it's ridiculous at this point. I can see you smiling, even though you're not even here. Okay? The false equivalency you keep promoting is that, hey, these guys over here, they keep ending up dead because they do the right thing. You have to do the wrong thing, but the people who've done the wrong thing still end up dead. So what you have to do is this. You have to take a step back, stop injecting yourself into it, and let these things actually play out. Jon, okay, will show us what type of caliber he has very, very shortly in a couple of days and over the next few weeks, and we'll get to see that. And then, if you turn out to be correct, then yeah, you can do your little, you can do the immigrant victory dance that I saw you do before, and you can be fine. And this time I promise I won't call anyone to, to come and cart you off. But, more than likely, that's not going to happen. And you have to be logical about this. It's not going to be Cersei. Okay, it's not going to be Cersei because she's fated to die and she's just too big of a villain. And no, it's not the hero who dies in the end. That's a tragic hero. It's the villain who finally gets their comeuppance for all the evil that they've done. And that has happened to every bad character or every evil character on the show. Okay, the lightest of which I thought was Ramsay Bolton. I thought he should have gotten it worse than what he got. But hey, that was pretty much the end of it. So all those guys you're going to have to take off the table. The person who's probably going to get it is the person who wants it the least. That's the way that it usually works out. And the person who would want it the least, the person not even looking for it, and that would be Jon Snow. That's usually how these things tend to work out.
Oh, this is George Martin's world. Things don't always turn out the way
his world seems a lot like the rest of the literary world. Look.
So one of the things. Hold on, I heard what you said. So here's the thing, though. I kind of disagree with you because the question is who is we had a ruler who won a war, civil war, ended up becoming a king. Who was that? That was Robert, and Robert was a complete mess. He was one of the greatest warriors of all time. He was fearless, loved by the masses, but ended up being a complete, utter waste.
Because he didn't have what it was necessary. And look, there's a difference between being a ruler and being a king. Okay, there's a difference between being a duke and being a king. And there's a difference between being a great warrior and being beloved by the people and being a king. And he didn't have what it took to be king. Now, there are people who want power. Okay, you have your Cerseis who they want power and they're lusting after the power, but that type of stuff usually tends to swallow them up. They rarely last too much longer. Okay, at least in literature. In real world, then yeah, you might be able to get something else out of that. And even then, they can't hang on but for so long. The people who do the best are the people who are actually going to be concerned about the people, or rather, the character who's concerned about the people. And the two characters we know who are almost to the point of absurdity or care about the people. That's Daenerys, and the other one is Jon Snow. So it's going to be one of those two. Everything else is cool to talk about, but it's just going to be one of those two. That's it. especially since Martin isn't even is he even writing anymore?
Oh, that's not that. Hey, Martin, take your damn time. The show and the book are two different things.
Is he even contributing to the writing on the show, or they just say, hey, look, we'll take it from here?
No, I think he's giving them a framework of what he thinks will
framework.
Go, and
he pretty much told them how it's supposed to end, and he told them, look, you guys can get there as long as I get my money.
And he contributes.
No, I hear at home he made a dragon out of money. It breathes. It's a money breathing dragon.
Well, no one says the same thing about Rollins. She's making tons of money off of Harry Potter.
She finished the stories. She finished the stories.
Hey, I'm not going to knock it. So, continuing here with Jon. Last point. Is he clueless?
Is he what? Now, okay. No, I'm not going to do it with you. I'm not going to do it with you. You're just being disingenuous at this point, or you're just looking for some reason so we can talk for a little bit longer. Look.
No.
You're being disingenuous now. You can't be.
All right, cool. Relax.
Okay, this is a show where unless you have telepathy, it's impossible to know what's coming around the corner with these people. They put these twists in. Really, to be quite honest, all you have to think is like, look, what should happen here, and the opposite happens. Okay, and the characters don't get to have that type of foresight that we have watching the show. What should happen? Okay, this is what happens instead. Why? So everybody can talk about it. Then the last time it was really good was the Red Wedding. Everything else you should have seen coming a mile away. Cool. So you have all of that type of stuff over there. So to say any character is clueless isn't fair to the story because what? The story is supposed to be set up with all these twists and turns that we're not supposed to see coming. So we'd have to be totally disingenuous. Oh, you should have saw that coming. You would have never seen it coming. Anybody who's going to be critical of the characters. So, that right over there is a loaded question. So we take that one off the table.
I think Jon should have seen that. The actions that he had were moving so fast that members of the Night Watch wouldn't agree with it. And I think this is going to be a problem.
Now you can't talk about Night Watch. It's done. It's done already. Okay, That's over.
But so I'm glad you brought it up. But
you brought it up.
Hold up. I'm saying I think that this season is going to be some issues, a political issue with the North, with him, whether the legitimacy or whether he should be the king, whether his ideas with the wildlings, whether his idea of trying to unite all the North. There's going to be an issue, and the question is,
you mean like last season? Yeah, of course.
Whether he will rise to the level of control.
No,
I'm not sure.
Totally off. That'll be a subplot, but there's a bigger thing that's actually going to be. There's a bigger thing that we're probably going to have to pay attention to. The more obvious thing, and there's three of them.
Which is it?
Those three dragons, dude. That's what we're going to have to pay attention to. The three dragons and the whole bunch of white zombies running across over here killing people. I think that's going to take precedent over any of the intrigue that's going on.
I agree with you there, but the intrigue is still going to occur.
That'll be a subplot.
And if he doesn't have his foot strongly on the ground, he's going to end up losing it.
You are so lucky we are not doing this, where I can get my hands on you. You really took advantage of this one. Okay, so I have to give you credit for that. You were smart. You were smart. I have to give you credit for that. That won't happen again. Okay, you were smart.
So, do you have anything else to contribute?
People of America, pray for big business, because when I catch up to him, he's going to pay for all of this.
Well, spin it back out. Thank you for listening, everybody. Bye.
Later.